Good morning and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, hello, I'm Andrea and I'm a textile design student at the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York City. And normally I would be in New York City right now, but I'm actually studying abroad this semester here in Scotland. So the Scottish Yarn Festival is taking place in a beautiful city called Perth. It was about 2.5 to 3 hours from my campus in Galashiels. I just took the train to get here. It was super easy. I am so excited because you guys know that I love fiber festivals. I love all things like celebratory of yarn and yarn culture and yarn people. And I'm really excited to see that from a Scottish perspective because that's obviously very new to me. So yeah, let's go. Let's have a blast. I'll show you anything that I find that's interesting. I hopefully won't spend too much money and yeah, it's gonna be great. The festival was held at a nearby convention center, and because it was indoors and there were lots of people around me, I felt a little bit awkward talking to the camera. So here's a little montage of some of my favorite things that I saw at the festival, and I'll tag as many of the businesses as I can in case you want to look them up and shop some beautiful Scottish products. And of course, there's definitely going to be a haul at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. After several hours of exploring and shopping, I met up with my friend Tammy and my two new friends, Rachel and Trisha, for some fresh air and a pizza lunch break. Then we headed back to the festival for some more exploring. So it's been a couple hours since the festival ended. I headed back to my hotel to drop off some of my stuff and then headed out to dinner, and honestly, it has been such a funny and fun evening. So when I first got to my hotel, I had to walk through this kind of like dining area on the patio, and there were these two ladies who were having what looked like an absolutely perfect afternoon. They were enjoying like high tea. They had tons of little tea cakes and little teacups, and I walked past them to get into the hotel, and one of the ladies just whips a chair around and she's like, "Show and tell time, show us what you got at the festival." Which was so unexpected and so funny. So I just sat with them for a little bit, showed them everything I got. They commented on all of it. You know, we had a really great time. They showed me what they're knitting, and it was just like a really, really kind and heartwarming interaction that was just so pleasant, so fun. After that, I head back up to my room, unpack my things, kind of settle for a moment, and then come back down for dinner. And I strike up conversation with these two guys who are sitting at the table right next to me, and they're super nice. One of them is named Marcus, and he's actually an indie dyer, and he makes beautiful work under the name of Fiberpunk, so I'll put a link to his work and his Instagram in this video's description. Anyway, I'm almost at the venue for tonight's knitting event, and yeah, let's see how this goes. Good morning! It's another beautiful day at Perth, and I'm heading over to the convention center for day 2 of the Yarn Festival. I'm gonna be totally honest, this morning I'm really tired and a little bit hungover, and that's just because yesterday was so much fun. I am consistently just like so blown away and impressed by how genuinely kind everyone is that I've met here in Scotland so far. Last night I was just like sitting and talking with so many absolutely wonderful people, and they were just telling me about like their fiber practices, whether they're like a vendor or just like a festival attendee. They're telling me about Scotland, places I should go visit. I was telling them about my own practices and my own life, and it was just such a warm and welcoming community. We had a lot of wine, we had a lot of laughs, there was some dancing, and overall it was just like a perfect evening. I had one particularly funny encounter. I met someone there and we were just like chatting it up, just absolutely hitting it off, having a really great time. We were talking for maybe like half an hour, 45 minutes straight, just like laughing and like drinking wine. And then I found out that she's the festival director. I met Eva. She's one of the nicest people I have met in a very long time, and it was such a joy to get to know her. But yeah, it's just been like really, really nice to come into this space and feel immediately welcomed into the community, which is just especially wonderful given that I'm obviously a foreigner and like just moved here last week, and I'm feeling kind of like lost, and I'm still trying to figure out like making friends and everything. And I feel like last night I made so many friends, and it was just wonderful. Speaking of friends, today I actually invited 2 of my classmates, my new friends from Harriet Watt, to come join me at the festival. And I believe it's both of their first times actually going to a festival, so this should be pretty fun. Let's go. New friends. They gave me a podcaster badge. They're like, "You're part of our family now," and I want to cry. So I bought some stuff. I mean, of course I did. There's no way I'm gonna go to an event like that and not come home with like armfuls of stuff. So I tried my best to show you things as I was buying them, like throughout the days, but Let's do like an official haul right now so I can show you every single thing that I got. So my big goal for this festival was to get myself a knitting project and a spinning project, just to kind of like last me throughout my semester here in Scotland and to kind of serve as like a souvenir of my time here. When I got to the festival, I had this one pattern in mind. I'm gonna put a picture of it here on the screen. I think it's called like the Caledonian Fling, and it's a really beautiful crescent shape, and it's a really beautiful crescent shaped shawl. That's a tongue twister. Crescent shaped shawl. It's a really beautiful crescent shaped shawl with like this like colorwork border on the bottom that has little thistles on it, and thistles are Scotland's national flower, and I thought it was like a really cute and maybe like a little bit cheesy but mostly cute little souvenir that I can make for myself, just like to remember this whole trip by. So when I went to the festival, I was like, okay, I'm gonna find some like nice Scottish wool so that I can make this shawl. And I found some wool, but it's from Ireland, and I'm telling myself that that's okay because it's still foreign. It's not America, it's still the UK. And I was just so in love with this wool, I couldn't turn it down. So I got several skeins of this beautiful Donegal tweed yarn from Folklore Yarns, and I am just absolutely obsessed with the looks of these yarns. I really like tweeds just in general. That's definitely one of my favorite like categories of yarns. And I especially like ones where it's like full on color, but it doesn't look like it's rainbow, if that makes sense. Like I feel like in my head, I have like a perfect ratio of like the actual color of the yarn and then like the little bits of color inside. And this perfectly satisfies that in my mind. This is like exactly the tweed yarn that I want. So I couldn't pass it up. So I ended up getting quite a few skeins for it. And for my Caledonian shawl, I'm gonna do this white one that's like white with rainbow as the body of the shawl. And then for the color work on the bottom, I'm gonna do green for the stems, and then of course purple for the little like thistle flowers. And I think it's gonna be really cute. Even if it's not like thematically perfect, it's still thematically fine, and I'm gonna absolutely love it. And at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. I actually already cast on that shawl. I just got like a teeny tiny little bit of it done. And I also got another purchase from the festival that's now involved in this. I got the needles, of course. And then also these absolutely adorable little stitch markers that are just like teeny tiny little rats. They're so like creepy and cute and detailed, and I just love them. I also ended up getting another ball of yarn to do one other little knitting project on the side, and it's from the brand Fiberpunk. And when he had this like little skein of Halloween yarn, I was like instantly in love. And then when I found out that it was called Elphaba's Knickers, I just like died. So you guys know I love Halloween. It's like the only holiday that I feel like I actually care about. And now I have some beautiful Halloween yarn. I think I'm gonna make it into something like a Sophie scarf or like a teeny little shawlette or something like that, just so I could like have a fun holiday accessory. And then I got needles to match. Then for my spinning project, I knew I wanted to get a traditional Scottish style spindle. So I was like looking around the marketplace and I kept seeing this shape all over the market. And I was like, okay, that's it. I want to learn more about it. So I went up to one of the booths that was selling them. I'm currently at this moment forgetting the name of the booth, but I'll put it down at the bottom of the screen. And I was just like, hey, can you tell me about this? Like, is there tradition behind it? Like, why are these shapes everywhere in this festival? And the man who was running the booth was just like the absolute nicest person. And he told me all about how this is like the type of spindle that's used in the Scottish Highlands, and how everyone in the family would have one of these and they'd keep it in their pocket. And whenever there was like idle hands, idle time, they would spin until they had enough yarn to hand off to the weaver in the family to then obviously weave into cloth. And we talked for a long time. He was so nice and even showed me like a demonstration on how to use the spindle and gave me quite a bit of fiber to play with just so I could like get the hang of it. And of course, I had to bring it home. So beautiful Scottish spindle. This spindle is called a jalgan, I believe. It's spelled one way and pronounced a slightly different way. And I'm trying to learn it, so forgive me if I mispronounce that, but very excited to have it and to have it as a part of my collection. Then, of course, I have a spindle. I need something to actually spin up. So I got a beautiful bag of wool from a local mill that I actually really want to try to visit, because my understanding is it's actually not that far away from me. So I'll put the title of the mill at the bottom of the screen. I got this beautiful fiber from them. It's like very like tweedy looking, which, like I just told you, is one of my all-time favorite kinds of yarn. So I'm very excited about this. Okay, so those three like projects worth of yarn were all the things that I like needed to buy when I was there. And the rest of this was just like fun things that I was just like really attracted to at the festival that I just had to take home with me. So let me show you some of those. I got this absolutely beautiful skein of green yarn from Lammermuir wool. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but I'll make sure you can read it on the screen. I spent quite a long time at this booth talking to the owner, and she was telling me all about her 18 sheep that make up her flock and that produce all this absolutely beautiful fiber. And this green color I just find so beautiful. So I knew I wanted to have some to take home with me. The next thing I got, okay, so I went to this festival and I was really curious if they would have any products available for weaving, because I know that a lot of this community is very much focused on knitting. So as I was running around the festival, I'm like, okay, are there any weavers here? And I did find one booth that makes these really beautiful cones of yarn for weaving out of local Scottish wool. And I just had to have a cone because I think that this is so stunning. This is from Uist wool. I'm not gonna be able to pronounce any of these Scottish names. I'm so sorry. But this is 100% wool, Cheviot and Hebridean wools blended together. It's all natural colors and it looks very light gray just on the cone, but when you actually look into it, there's so many different subtle shades and the way the color moves around the yarn. It's definitely gonna find its way into a weaving project someday. The next item I got is an accessory. We're done with all the fiber stuff and now we're moving on to like the other little fun things that I collected. So this one is a beautiful African wax print bag that was hand sewn by Soft Accents. They make absolutely stunning bags, and this pattern in particular caught my eye because it has that like royal blue color that I just love and is also mustard yellow in the inside. So this just made me really happy. It brought me a lot of joy. And I'm definitely going to be using it to carry my knitting projects around. I also got this really beautiful necklace with like little hand crocheted beads on a cord. It's really cute. I actually don't have any necklaces with me here in Scotland, and I really liked how like lightweight and very like crafty this one is. It just made me happy and I'm really excited to wear it. And finally, the last thing I got at this festival, you've actually seen quite a bit in this video already because it's the felt earrings that I bought. And when I bought them, I just like immediately threw them on because they matched my outfit so well. Like both of the shirts that I packed for the weekend had exactly these colors in them. So I couldn't resist. They were just like perfect. And now you're gonna be seeing me wear them literally all the time here in Scotland. So yeah, that's my Scottish Yarn Festival haul. I had such an incredible time at this festival. Like I met so many just absolutely wonderful people. I learned so much about the local fiber production and local animal keeping and a lot about just like Scottish yarn and fiber culture in general, which was really fun. I'm really looking forward to using all of these things. They're definitely like my souvenirs from this experience that I'm so excited to have and to just like transform into fun art pieces. Thank you so much for joining me on this adventure. I hope you had fun tagging along. I'm going to be in Scotland until December and there are so many more adventures to come. So if that sounds exciting to you, hit that subscribe button and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!